Hey everybody, it's Tim Lee Michael. We've talked a lot about drawing eyes. We've talked a lot about their form. We've talked a lot about trying to think about them in 3D. Now it's time to think about them in emotion. Emotion, of course, is going to play a super key role on what that eye is going to look like, how it's going to express itself, whether you draw just a normal eye, and I'll try to use this form that I taught you guys before, where the eye tear duct is lower than the other side of the eye. But the idea that depending on how you draw it, it's going to show a different expression. So if I take this eye and I open it up wider, I make it bigger, and I open up the bottom lid more, and then I make the pupil smaller right in the middle, or I like to put it up just right up against the top, and then I make the iris really tiny. There's an expression of what on earth just happened, you know? It has a fear to it almost, where this one looks a little bit more gentle. Maybe instead of that, maybe we drop the top lid down even more, and you can still keep the bottom pretty open, but then if you draw a big tall eyelid over top to show that this line here has closed over that same area, this shape right here, we've wrapped it around it exactly like we've talked about with the idea of a ball and drawing that shape over top the ball. That's basically exactly what we've done here. And then we can take that iris and the pupil, and we can put it like this and then put the pupil right here. Suddenly they look very sleepy. And then if we draw a great big bag under the eye and introduce some shading to the bottom of that, it just ages it up, even including some what would be called crow's feet on the outside, shows a little bit of tiredness. And the face is full of these kinds of expressions. Now, something that I learned when I was starting to draw caricatures is the importance of paying attention to how the eye sits when someone is smiling. Oftentimes when someone is smiling, there's a squint that goes on with a smile, and there's one key feature of a squint that is really important if you want to get a really happy looking eye. Then you can see that there's something going on here, whether it's a certain emotion like curiosity, uncertainty, but watch this. I'm going to draw you another eye here, and this one is going to represent a smile. And if you can get a face and you can get that eye drawn just right, you can show a smile just in the eyeball alone. And here's my trick. Let's go ahead and push up the bottom lid. And we're going to really push it up. That's the first thing. Going to push it way up there. Okay? And then the second thing we'll do is we're going to draw the eyeball smaller, but we just want it slightly tucked in behind the two. Okay? And then we're going to go ahead and add this line, and we can even add a little bag under here. Now, depending on the shading that we do, this is where it's really going to start playing this key role here. And your goal that you want, in most cases, some people have different kinds of shapes of eyes, but this right here, or anywhere on the bottom along here, the more you can concave this shape into right here, the more this is going to look more like a smile, believe it or not. If I take that face, and I don't know if I have enough time to do it, but if I was to take this face and quickly draw this like this, and if I was to put a nose here and a mouth, which you might not be able to see, I'm going to really fake it up in there, and I go like that, that eye becomes very expressive. You can see the smile in the eye, and that's what you're looking for. So pushing up on this as much as possible, unless it's obvious that the person's eye doesn't communicate in that way with their facial structure, that's what you need to keep in mind, is pushing this bottom lid up. And we can explain that more in the future, but the main reason why this is getting pushed up is because of the fat in the cheek right below it, and it's pushing up against the bottom of the eyelid. It's pushing up the skin with this force that is causing it to go up, and that's what causes that eye to do that. Experiment with that a little bit. Look at pictures of people smiling, and you'll see it. It's pretty awesome when you find it. Well, that's going to do it for this video, guys. Don't forget, I have a Patreon. Patreon.com/Tim Lee Michael gets you a chance to see all of my videos before they release on YouTube. And, of course, thank you so much for watching. And check me out on Facebook and on Instagram at Tim Lee Michael as well. I'll see you guys next time. God bless.